Good day, trader. My name is WaskilSmartFX. Welcome to my YouTube channel, or just welcome to my video. Alright, today we'll be talking about the weekend trade recap. So the trade I took during the week, I'm going to explain it, and just one particular trade I took during the week. But I think for gold, for me, this particular week has been a lot of up and downs. But I caught this particular trade here, and I'll be explaining the same strategy I've been using. Same strategy, nothing is different. Just explain more better the things I see and why I believe in the trade. The strategy, I think I wrote it down here. The trend, order flow, and S&P. Alright, the first thing I will do is to go down to 4 hours charts. I particularly know on daily charts that the trend is bearish, so I don't need to be zooming in to be checking 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I can just look from this particular the current trend is bearish. Can't, because market is taking out every lows is being taken out. Market is not coming to take any highs. Any high that market took it with a sweep, with a rejection, so which shows that this is a sweep, this is a liquidity, and you can see that every highs has been protected since market begins the flows. Alright, so I know on the daily chart the market is bearish. So go down to 4 hours chart. So on 4 hours charts, so this is this week here. So this week starting from starting from the 6th of July 2026, that's when the week started. So yeah. Alright, so I saw this particular trade on Tuesday. Alright, I saw this particular trade on Tuesday here. You can see the market has been bearish. Market was bullish on this price leg at this particular level here. We look at the left hand side, we see that market is bullish at this particular level here. If we look at the current side, which is the right hand side, you can see that we have an MSS. We have an MSS here. Alright, so we have an MSS. So when we have an MSS, market creates an inducement, and we have this. So this should have been the sweetest entry for me, but I missed it because I was looking at the buy at this particular level. It's a long story. That was one of the stop loss I hit this week. I was looking at buy, even though I should have looked at the old trend where I was staying on 1 hour 15 minutes trying to look for buy, because I was targeting this high. Alright, so that's the mistake I made this week. Alright, so let's go down. So after market rejected from this order block here, I saw this order flow leg. You can see the first thing for my strategy is the trend. After the trend is the order flow legs and the XLP. So now I know the trend. Now I have another flow legs in the direction of the trend, of the external trend. So when I saw this order flow leg, I saw this fair value gap here, which I expect market to trade into for bearish continuation, at least to this low, to this swing low. Alright, so I will go down to lower time frames, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, just to see SLP. Just to see an SLP inside the fair value gap. You know, the idea is that the order flow legs having a fair value gap, you cannot even have another flow leg without a fair value gap. So the idea is the fair value gap should be for sell continuation, right? But I don't want to sell because it is a fair value gap or because it's another flow legs, right? So I'll go down to lower time frame to look for the SLP. So there must be an SLP at that particular fair value gap level, so which means that there will be an SLP plus fair value gap with the idea of fair value gap from higher time frame. Will give me a confirmation. I'm not just going to trade an SLP because it's an SLP, I just want to trade it with a fair value gap in mind on higher time frame to give me a sell continuation. So okay, for people that don't know what SLP means, the structure, liquidity, and point of interest. Just as the same way, this particular trade here is an SLP. We have the MSS because we have been having bullish. Then at this particular point, we have an MSS. This one here is a reversal concept. We have an MSS. We have a liquidity because this is the first pullback. This is the first pullback. So we have a liquidity, then we have another block. So this is structure, liquidity, and point of interest, SLP. Alright, so we're looking at that in particular little things, and there are two. We have the reversals and we have the continuation. Alright, so inside this fair value gap, I want to be a seller, but I have to look for an SLP. So the first SLP I'm seeing is this break of structure here. I call it DBOS, double break of structure, where the second break this low. So we have double break of structure here. Market break this particular low. So market break this particular low here and this low with one single candle. One candle breaks it. So I will look for my liquidity. Where is my liquidity? My liquidity, the first pullback, this high, but there's also a pullback here before market gets to my POI. So I have these two as my liquidity. So this here is my breaker block, and that is what I trade. I trade the breaker block, and this is where I was expecting market to at least come to. So I put my sell limit, my stop loss above this, and my, so that is the exact thing I trade, right? So that is the exact thing I trade, that's the exact thing I traded. Alright, so let me show you which particular. You can see it here, the breaker block, where I put my stop loss and the sell. So this is it before it goes. So you can see where I put my liquidity, this high and this high. Alright, so this particular chart here is my study chart, so that is why you see that it is not the same. I have this chart here. You can see all my charts here. I have this chart here. I can easily look at it here. So you can see this is the trade here. But I have a study chart so that I can show you with different chart. Alright, so let me explain this particular gold trade, because we have another gold trade here that we are looking at. Okay, let me use 30 minutes. You can see this gold trade here. I gave it out on my channel, telling them that, oh, market is going to buy from there, even though I gave them another buy entry. But at that particular level, I was particularly saying, oh, market is going to come down to that place and buy. The same trade idea, the same thing. The first thing, the trend, the order flow, and the SLP. If you look at the order flow here, you can see that I have a bullish order flow here, which I told them again that, oh, there's a bullish order flow at this particular level here. There's a bullish order flow. Market is going to come to the fair value gap. The idea of the fair value gap from higher time frame, I just bring it to the lower time frame and I look for SLP. And the SLP I saw here is also double break of structure, which you can see this high and this high being broken with one candle, the liquidity, the breaker block. I put my stop loss at this low reasons. There is an order block on 2 hours, and that, no, I think it's on 1 hour, right? Let me check 4 hours. Alright, so there's an order block at this particular level here, so which I expect market to actually come to. So that I put my stop loss at that particular level, so I expect market to buy more to this, at least to this level, right? So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to join my YouTube channel, link below. Thank you so much.